Shalom Babakar, the Wild Babakar. It's about 4:06 a.m. in London. Um, you know, just checking out the news before I go to the plantation. And good old Dabu is, doing his thing, man, reporting. Now, what he's saying is that, a state of emergency has been declared in 5 states, 65 million Americans in you know, severe issues due to exceptional drought. The weather's starting to pick up here in the UK as well, you know. So I don't know how severe it's going to get over here at the moment, but temperatures are rising this week anyway, and Friday should be uh, fairly warm, about 30 degrees Celsius, and I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit actually. What is I don't know. Let's just see. Let's just say. Sorry. Let's just see what he's going to say. Let's hear what he's going to say. Salakia. It's early hours. I'm all over the place at the moment. Salakia.
This is Dabu 7. We have water emergencies going into effect in several different states: California, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, Arizona, and tribal nations like the Navajo Nation are all in an area here where they have declared a drought state of emergency and have allocated resources to managing this crisis at hand. Now, it seems to me that the government isn't doing much to mitigate this because we don't see or hear about them doing anything to bring water to the area, like cloud seeding, something very simple that could be done. They're not doing any of it. They could be putting up desalination plants all along the coastline, turning salt water into fresh water. They are not doing that. And in the meantime, all types of acreage is burning up, no matter how they're started. From California, moving into New Mexico, and now even Arizona, seeing a massive wildfire where they're having to evacuate people. And where it sits, you're looking at some 65 million people affected by this water emergency. As they state here up at the top, 90 million Americans were being affected by the drought, and 65 million were in what they call severe to extreme drought. So that is nearly 3/4 of the West in a state of severe or exceptional drought. And it's not looking to get better anytime soon. And this is the situation we find ourselves in, and something has to be done quick, or there's not going to be any crops later in the year, which is probably already too late for that at this point. But year after year from here, it's going to be a decimation. We have got to get this thing turned around, and it begins with the people. The power is in the people and the politics that we represent and in our numbers. Join me on the live show where I talk in greater detail and censorship free about what we're doing to counter all this and more. You'll find links below. Hit that subscribe button.
Okay, that's what's happening at the moment. I mean, there's so many news stories, and the prophets of Great Millstone and affiliate camps from the apostles on down are making video after video after video, and which is a beautiful thing, man, because all of the internet's been bum rushed with this beautiful truth, and you can't even really really sort of keep up, with with all the videos. But all this is being done by design. Um, you know, Livestock is being slaughtered. Um, Food is being destroyed. Um, you know, Esau with his punk ass is probably using his harp machine, to f with the weather. You know what I mean? Ultimately, see how Bashim Yashai, Isaiah 45 verse 7. Um, but you know, those that have that eye salve and have that spiritual sort of mark, that can discern, because faith is a gift. Hebrews 11 verse 6 and Hebrews 11 verse 1. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, we are not ignorant of his devices. Man, there's got to be something severely wrong with you, man. If you think that, the so-called government or Esau, the so-called white man, are so-called, are good, are so-called good, or any other person, no one's good but the Father. But let's just focus on this part, the fact that people think that, man, the government are good people. They're actually out there for your best interests. The stupidity is shown when people lined up to get their what. You know, As a matter of fact, I just watched a video yesterday of an Edomite in Canada that was the first individual to receive compensation for taking the what, and now the bottom half of his limbs don't work. You know, so he got compensation for that when he took the what. That's another, that people like that who are actually ignorant of Satan's devices, but the elect, the hopeful elect, are not, Lord willing. And this is all being done by design, which is a beautiful thing, because I just wish Esau would pull his finger out and get cracking with this thing, man. Yeah, as scary as it is, but we want this thing to go down, because if this thing doesn't go down, we're gonna. Hey, man, listen, I don't want these. I don't want E's kingdom to go on forever, man. It's BS. It's disgusting. It's just complete. It's bullshit. Period. Right. Okay. Matthew's 24 and 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay. Now, this is the beginning stages of, well, actually, the sorrows have already begun, but it's going to get heavier and heavier and heavier, and they're going to keep piling on the sugar over the shit, right? And they're going to keep giving you information saying everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, what happens? Like putting a frog in boiling water. They keep turning up the heat, and then you're just effed. First Thessalonians 5 and 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay, but the elect, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Because the elect, the hopeful elect, are watching out for the signs, Lord willing. Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. That's the elect. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. That's the 2/3, and the heathen like Esau and the nations. So that was First Thessalonians 5, verses 3 to 5. Okay. And with the lack of bread and lack of food, what's going to happen, man? Huh? 2 Esdras 15:19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, man, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay? it's going to come to that point because most people, right? Okay, let's just focus here on the UK and the States. The UK is the mother of the States, right? And Canada. That's why they got that bitch's face on the dough, on the money. Um, a lot of people don't know how to sort of pluck a chicken, uh, cut a chicken up or whatever. Let's just say if you get hold of one, um, or basically, survival skills, living in the forest, chopping up wood, how to create a fire, you know, how to spot clean vegetation from unclean vegetation, what's basically edible, edible flowers, you know. People are used to things being there on tap, you know, especially these women, you know. In fact, because of even the term, the lack of bread, most women don't know how to even knead dough. They don't know how to put, they don't know how to like even make bread, or flat bread or whatever, you know. And once food isn't there, I mean, it's already started with women fighting over baby formula, you know. It's already started on that. Now, can you imagine once this amplifies, right? The heat is turned up even more and more and more. What do you think men and women are going to do for their survival and the survival of their children? Huh? You better put your, I don't want to use that term. What's that song? Trying to quote music here. Uh, that song by Tupac. Even though yeah, just using his figure of speech here. Tupac, like a song running. He goes, "You better put your Timberlands on tight." You know, I ain't giving up without a fight. Something like that. Anyway, old school song from the '90s. Oh, vaguely remember. Basically, put your Timberlands on tight, put your seatbelt on, whatever you want to say, whatever phrase you want to use, you better put it on. Because this is probably the so-called last summer, maybe the last several weeks or so, maybe month, 2 months or so of so-called normality in your mind for the people that are not clued up. And Lord willing, man, this thing amplifies. Second Ezra 6:22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. All being done by design, you know, all being done by design. Things are being, storehouses are literally being burnt up, livestock being slaughtered. A lot of the food and other perishables or unperishables are being kept in certain places, uh, mainly for, especially countries that have a lot of imports towards the West are keeping you know, their items for themselves, and mainly their army because they think they're going to rule next. You know, yeah, there's going to be a great reset. It's a great reset of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in righteousness. Okay, in righteousness. So, just wanted to touch on that. On the channel, I just gave you a little sort of insight into where the information. I mean, this guy Dabu, brings out a lot of key points, man. There's a lot of information. Check him out if you want. I'm not giving him a plug or anything. I'm just saying that some good information out there. Anyway, all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yashai Bashem Rakapadash. and pray without ceasing. Prayer keeps you locked in. Prayer builds your faith. And prayer is all, prayer and the truth and the name of Yahweh Bashem Yashai Bashem Rakapadash and prayer is our power. Okay? And that, Lord willing, that power is going to come to the elect, whoever they are in this world. And other one Ratazar, this thing amplifies. And may the Lord speed up time even more and this thing just hit the fan, Anyway, all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Waharakak Dash, Wa Abad Babal, Kwam Yashwala.